All right, so welcome to the first outlook and discussion for the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. So today we're going to be looking at some potential storms and the remnants of Arthur and more, everything Atlantic hurricane season related. So right here, those are the remnants of Arthur, which we'll be going through down here this way, going through especially Bermuda, which could get some tropical storm impacts with this system. So if you live in Bermuda, you could get some tropical storm force winds, but this is obviously a non-tropical system by now. So I want to look back at the track of Arthur. So this is just looking at the track that Arthur has taken, kind of like a memory line of this system, I guess. But this is pretty much what Arthur has done over this time. And this is where it currently is. And it will now track down here and then dissipate about here. So this will kind of be the story of Arthur. But yeah, this is the first ever system for the season. So it's pretty interesting to go back and see how the system went. But so next in the next couple of days, we're going to be looking at a new area for potential development of the system. So we're going to be looking at the Caribbean and the Gulf for our next system. So already here we have of this area of participation that does start forming in the next couple of days, further intensifying, and then we get this low pressure system here that does form of the coast of Central America. Not sure what country that is, but we do have this low pressure system here forming at 1,008 millibars. And moving on a little bit further, this low pressure system does intensify further, and then in around 234 hours, we have a new low pressure system that does form right off the coast of Mexico. And so this is what forms right here. So we get that low pressure system forming here at 1,007 millibars with some high precipitation. But this is not the only one. But we're going to look at that one first, and then we'll look at the other one over here. So this does start moving towards Cuba and South Florida. So we see the system now 999. So by then it is a tropical storm. But we see the system forming around here and then moving this way over the course of this period. And this will continue to track east and then affecting. And so this is going to be forming in a similar area, or this is going to be going through a similar area where Arthur went. Keep in mind, Arthur formed right here, but originally the system we were watching was in this exact same area. So we're going to have to see. But then this system, we don't have really much after that. GFS kind of shows it going out to sea and then turning post-tropical and dissipating. But so this is pretty much what you could be seeing, a potential tropical system forming in this area, moving and affecting parts of South Florida and Cuba, and then moving out to sea. So we could be seeing something like this form. So there's going to be a high pressure here, which is why this system is going to be moving this way. Well, there's most likely going to be high pressure there. But so this area is going to be where we want to watch for next system, and then moving into some high temperatures. Keep in mind the Gulf and the Caribbean are currently warming up. This area is a little bit colder than before, but this is still, we're still going to be seeing this system move and track in the Atlantic. And so we could have a second tropical storm in the next 11 days about. But this is not the only system we're tracking, which is really interesting. We're actually tracking a potential second system. That one, and more, won't affect any areas, more like the middle of the Atlantic. So this will be forming in about 222 hours. So this system right here, kind of like a wave, does start getting its act together and form into something. That could be Bertha, and the other one could be I don't remember. Cannonball, I think. I'll look up the name after. But this could be Bertha, and this could be the sea name. I don't remember what it's going to be called. But we have this system start to form, and then in 228 hours, we have a low pressure system in this area. All right? Low pressure system that forms right here. With some associated. So it's not really organized. We can see it's kind of connected to this big front all the way connecting to the second low pressure. So this two low pressure system would technically be connected by this front. But then moving on, we do see kind of a sort of separation of this those two pressure systems kind of separates from each other, but they're still both moving in the same direction. But Bertha here, if this does become Bertha, it's going to be a little bit weaker than the other one. So this might only be a tropical depression or tropical storm. But then this will have its peak around 58 hours, pretty much in the middle of the Atlantic, and then it does track northeast or northwest, and then kind of moves out to sea. So this won't be really a major disturbance of any kind. But it's gonna be a potential as a storm. So this storm is also gonna help drag the storm out to sea because it's gonna pull it with it, which is why we're seeing this getting pulled off, as you can see, off with it, and then gets also pulled out to sea with this system here. So Bertha could be forming, and then whatever the second one's going to be. So this is the two areas we're going to be watching. This is what it looks like now, but we're watching this area for our first area formation, and then further this. So here we could be seeing Bertha, and here whatever the C one is. Let me look that up really quick. 2020 hurricane names. Cristobal. So we could be seeing Cristobal here and Bertha here, or the other way around, or only Bertha. So this is how it's gonna go. We're gonna see the system track north, or kind of east-north, and same for this system. They're both gonna be tracking in pretty much the same area. If we look at it, yep, this is where it forms. So I'm about right on spot with this, and then same for the other system. So really, we're gonna be watching what. If we do get 3 systems in May, that's going to be, again, record-breaking for the season. We've never gotten 3 systems in May. That's going to be one here, and one here. And that would be pretty crazy, guys. Like, we've never gotten more than, 1 system in May, I believe, or maybe 2 at most. But I don't think we got 2. So it's pretty crazy how this might turn out. But right now, we also do have a tropical wave right here near the Antilles that we're going to be watching for the next couple of days. If we look, it does dissipate rather quickly, but we're still tracking right here tropical wave, which could be kind of merging over here, causing a formation of that low pressure system. Because if we look at some of the satellite imagery with this, so Arthur is completely dissipated by this point, but if we look at some satellite imagery of the Atlantic, we do see this tropical wave. Let's see here. So if we do let's do Atlantic white. So if we do Atlantic white here, we're going to be able to see our 2 systems. So here is our tropical wave. Let me turn that down a little bit. This is our tropical wave right here. These are the remnants of Arthur, somewhere here. And then this is the area we're going to be watching moving through here in the next couple of days. So this is what we're looking at right now. This looks like this. So as you can see, our tropical wave has pretty much dissipated by then. But in those frames, we did have a tropical wave right here, T wave. So we're still seeing a tropical wave here. We're going to see this front right here come down this way, which could also help the formation of those 2 systems here. But we have lots of showers coming in from the Pacific into our Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. So this is really what's going to be helping this developing, and I do think that potentially Bertha right here could be forming from some remnants of Arthur, but still not sure about that. We're also seeing this big convection coming off the coast of Africa, which is actually where this tropical waves comes from. But this isn't really the season where we see any developments from storm coming out of the Africa. But later on, this will be our main development area once we get into August and September. This is where most cyclones are going to be forming and then heading towards land, um, either in Florida or, this is like the usual track of system, kind of going this way. But we do have this high convection area. If we look coming out of this area, looking, so we do get some area here coming, and then we have also this high convection. We are kind of like looking at three high convection area, but the one on the coast of Africa is really, it's like really having a explosion in convection, even in those last few frames, and it's starting to reach water. So I think in the next couple of days, National Hurricane Center could be putting a 5-day advisory, whatever you call it, for this area of the Atlantic. Um, so this area of the Atlantic, here or here, something like that, we could be seeing something, and then potentially something here. Potentially. But this is kind of what we're looking at right now. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one, but this is your first tropical weather update. And thanks for watching.